Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. We're back with another video. This is the second video that I've recorded for this week because I wasn't happy enough with the first makeup look. So we're trying again. I don't really want to put something out there that I'm not entirely proud of. So we're going again. But yeah, today we're doing a eyeshadow look again. We've done a few of them. But this one's a little different to the ones we've been doing recently. This is more of like a throwback, big, colourful, bright eyeshadow, 2016 vibes. So yeah, let's get straight into it. So first of all, if you can tell, my eyebrows are basically non-existent. Well, they're not. You can still see them, but they're very blonde at the moment. And I'm thinking a soap brow for this makeup look, so I'm gonna tint them. And I thought I'd just do it on camera because why not? It can be part of the video. So to tint my brows, I literally just use this just for my moustache and beard dye. I know everyone was using this down in lockdown. I find this is the only thing that lasts on my brows. Like if I use the Alaw or Eyelaw, I don't know how to pronounce it, brow tint, it just comes off after a few weeks. Whereas because I think this is a dye, it has more hold. So it's not till my eyebrows grow that they fade. Anyway, I've got it in the shade medium brown, and it basically comes with like a little tray and just these two components which you mix equal parts. And I have my own spoolie and a little lash brush, and I just brush it onto my brows. So I've just mixed together those two equal parts in the tray, and then I just basically pick it up on my spoolie like this and brush it through my brows as I would a normal makeup product. So I just get all the hairs coated. And this has to leave it on for 5 minutes, but I just do like, well, I think I probably could do 5 minutes. I'm used to my old one that I had, I could only get it in the black shade, dark brown black. So I'd literally put it on and wipe it straight off, because otherwise I have black brows. And I pick up more product and I just sort of draw on the shape of my brow at the front. What this does is just like picks up the really fine hairs that are on my skin already, like the peach fuzz. And it almost, well, I'm really revealing my secrets here, but for a couple of days it dyes like the front of the brow to be more full. So as you can see, it's already developing, but I'm basically just going to leave this on my eyebrows for a couple of minutes and then I'm going to wipe it straight off and I will come back to you for the rest of the makeup. So now that I've wiped off the tint and I've just put my hair in a little ponytail so that it's out of the way, I'm just going to go in with this toner from Boots. I'm just using this because I've just used my micellar water to remove the dye, so I just want to make sure that there's no residue of that or oil on the skin. So I'm just going to rub it over my brows, and I've got a little around my eyes as well, and then I may as well just tone the whole skin. So I'm just going to do my soap brows using the Pears soap as normal, a setting spray, and a little spoolie. So I just wet the soap. I'm sure I've showed this before. You don't want it drenched, but you want it a little wet. And then just get your spoolie covered in soap. And then basically just brush it through your brows as if you're gluing them down. And then you just have to let it get tacky, so I might need a bit more wetness on that. And then that should just stick in place exactly where we want it. So now that the brows are stuck down, I'm just going to take my concealer, which is Maybelline Fit Me as always, in the same shade that I always use. But it's a brand new one because we literally just ran out of the other one. So I'm just gonna, love that. Look how clean the top of the lid looks. Just put a bit on the back of my hand. And this mostly just adds a base for the eyeshadow we're going to put down. but it also creates a new shape for the underneath of the brow. It just cleans it up a little. And I find it very easy to carve out the brow when I have soaked brows, just because the brows are so flat to the face that you can actually go over a couple of hairs without it moving. And then I'm just going to take that down onto the eyelid as well. And then I'm going to blend that using my fluffy Morphe brush. Got a dense Morphe brush, I always use this to blend my concealer. I like to get quite a thick base down as well, for the pure fact of we're using very pigmented eyeshadow, so I don't want my eyelids to stain. Even though inevitably they will, this almost at least tries to prevent it. So now that we've done the brows, I'm gonna start with eyes, but first of all I'm gonna go onto the skin. I'm just gonna add a bit of skincare, just so that it can like settle into the skin. This is the Rituals SPF that I always use. Little sample still going. Just gonna put this all over my face. Just like a little barrier, extra barrier. Then I'm just gonna go in with my L'Oreal Paris Triple Active Day Moisturiser, just to add a bit of moisture to the skin. So I just put that all over my face, and I'm just gonna rub it in. And this is like quite a lightweight moisturiser, which is why I think it's called a day moisturiser. And whereas my ordinary one is quite a thicker one compared to this, but I just thought I'd use this. And then last but not least, for skin, I'm going to go in with my Power Grip Primer, which is literally on its last legs. So I can't wait for this to run out, because I'm waiting to use my new pink version of this. Because it's got niacinamide. Don't, you know the word. It like evens out skin tone, so I'm looking forward to that. Oh, it's barely squeezing. This is definitely going to be the last of it. And it's actually not. I definitely put too much of that on, but at least it's going to stick to my skin. Oh, that's all rubbed in. I could feel the thickness of the layer of that primer. Oh my god. Come to me the day that I'm trying a new primer. Like, I've actually gone and bought a new primer, and not just because I have a few combinations in my drawer that every so often I pull out for the video just to use a different product, but this just is the one. Like, my hands are sticky now. Anyway, so now we're gonna go on to eyeshadow. I always do my eyeshadow before my base, just in case we have any fallout. And so we're going in with the Carnival 3 Be Perfect, as always. I feel like in all my other videos, I've been calling this the Beauty Bay palette. It's not. I bought it off Beauty Bay, but it's Be Perfect. And the reason we're using this is just because we're doing a purple eyeshadow look, if you didn't know. I don't think I've said. And just look at that colour range. So I'm just going to start out by taking a fluffy brush, and I'm just going to start with a very light shade of purple just as a transition colour. I'm going to use this lilac shade, and it's almost like a pink to be honest, but we're going to build this colour up. We're doing a big eyeshadow, so I'm going to try and wing it as far as I can without it looking too crazy. And this is going to be a cut crease, so I'm mostly focusing this on the edge of my eye, as you can see. And just making sure that I leave quite a bit of this skin colour underneath the brow, because I don't like it when there's no transition between the eyeshadow and the brow. So we need a bit of concealer in there. So I'm just going to replicate on the other eye as I go along, just to save some time, because I find sometimes when we go back at the end of doing one eye to do the other one, they're not always as symmetrical because you haven't followed each step. That's a tip for symmetry as well, to replicate each step as you do it. But also just it means that once I finish one eye, I don't have to go and do the other one from scratch. Now I'm going to dip into a darker shade of purple. We're just going to slowly build it up. So I'm going to go into the shade called Tahiti shade here. And I'll start that on the middle of like where we first blended. And then once most of the product is off my brush, I'll just blend it to the edges into that transition shade. And next, I'm just going to follow that same colour pattern, and we're going to go for this fruity shade down here. And eventually, we're just going to build it up to this blackberry shade. I was going to say blueberry, so I'm glad I checked. And then before I dip into that really dark blackberry shade, I'm almost just going to take one of these deeper shades here. I know they're a bit more magenta, burgundy than the blackberry shade we're going to dip into, but we're just going to make it work. So I'm just using a bit of a smaller brush now. And then these deeper colours I'm just going to try and keep on the middle. And towards the crease. Like, we don't want the darker colours to wing out, obviously they need to blend, but we want the darkness to be on the centre really. Then I'm just going to go in with that blackberry shade and we're just going to slowly work it in. So now we've basically got the colour on. I'm going to go in, I'm going to cut the crease. So I'm just going to use that same Fit Me concealer that we used earlier and a flat brush. And then I'm going to use my dense brush to pat that in so that we don't have any splodges of concealer on the eyelid. And then for on top of the cut crease, we're going in with the purple shimmer. And I'm just going to use this shade called Starlight from that palette. I think I'm probably just going to take my finger, but I'm going to start off with the little brush that I used to cut my crease. And I'm just going to pat that into the shade and try and pick up as much of that as I can. And I'm hoping that this brush will just let me get right to the edge of the cut crease. And then I've put that on there and it's picked quite a lot of it up, but I am just going to take a bit on my finger. This is a very loose shade in the palette, so I'm trying to be careful not to take too much of it out. And I'm just going to put it on with my finger to see if it just picks up a bit better. So this is the shimmer added to the eyes and it has completely gone everywhere. I'm just going to take that same brush we used for the dark shade without any extra product on it, and I'm just going to blend some of this darker into the shimmer just so that we have more of a in-depth cut crease. So quickly before skin, I forgot. I'm just going in with my MAC Stack mascara. So I've just curled my lashes and I'm just going to apply a layer of that black mascara to my upper lashes. So now we're going to move on to skin. So I'm just going to take a little cotton pad to just wipe away any of the fallout that we had from the makeup. I'm going to have to use toner, which really upsets me because we've already done our whole skincare. But you can see where we've got the glitter here and we don't want that underneath the base. I'm just going to clean up under the eye. We all know that I go for these bright light glow drops. So I got the bronzing drops as well. I might just test it out on the skin and then we're just going to cover it up probably anyway. But this is glowy too, so I'm just going to test this out. I'm just going to take my usual foundation brush. But I thought this would be a nice product to use in the summer when I'm on holiday. And I don't want a full face, I just want some tinted lip, liner, bronzy face. So we'll just blend those glowy drops in. And I know I look very orange compared to my neck, but we were just testing out the bronzing drops, guys. Like, I'm going to cover it with my pale foundation anyway. So, straight on foundation. I think I'm just going to go in with my Revolution Skin Silk in the shade F2. I'm just going to pump that onto my skin. A little on my nose. And hope that that's enough. And obviously this is a much better match for my actual skin. But this is a lovely light serum foundation, so it's almost moisturising at the same time. And I'm really annoyed because I've used a brush and I was supposed to use my beauty blender, but it's fine. I only just realised. But we're going quite full coverage today. And I do find with this foundation you can either go really light or full coverage because it is a serum foundation. So it's almost like a tinted moisturiser in a way, but it's a little more than a tinted moisturiser because it's got quite a bit of product in it. Now I'm just going to go in with my Maybelline Fit Me concealer and I'm basically just going to put it under my eyes and on my high points like I always do. I'll cover that spot while I'm at it, and then I'm going to add a tiny bit onto my spots, but I am aware that my concealer is lighter than my foundation. Now I'm just going to take a little black beauty blender and blend all of that out. Then I'm just going to set this in place with my Revolution translucent powder and a little powder puff. And I'm going to go straight in under the eyes so that they're set in place. I just like to blend the powder into the skin then. I mostly just go for where I've concealed, and I just spread it a little further so that we don't have too much loose product on the face. Now, before we go in with any of the bronzers or anything, I'm just going to take my eyeshadow brushes and just bring some of that purple down onto the under eye. I'm just going to slowly buff it from the outer corner to the under eye. And then I'm also just going to take that darker shade. I'm going to take it very lightly because I know how much it fell out on the top. And just add a little layer of this along the lash line. Now that the eyes are finished other than bottom mascara, I'm going to go in with my bronzer. And I'm just using my usual Charlotte Tilbury airbrush bronzer. And I'm just going to take this angle brush and we're just going to bronze the face. And for blush, I'm just taking my painted blush. And then my favourite highlighter was making a comeback. It's the Revolution Baked Highlighter in the shade Golden Lights. This is my favourite one. I haven't used it in a lot of my videos. I've been using some other Revolution ones still, but I have quite a few in my collection now. But we're just gonna go in like that. I'm gonna add a little to the eye. Then I like to just take a little bit on my finger. Then I blend that onto my nose. And then I'm just going to go in with my mascara again on the bottom lashes. And then we've got lips after that. So I just like to add a little light layer. For lips, I just want to do a nude pink lip. So I think I'm going to go in with my usual, which is the MAC pencil in the shade Soar. And then, as always, you know the drill, we're going to take a clear gloss. And this is the one I always use, the Collection Juicy Infusions. As you can tell, it's very pink on the end from doing this exact method. But I just want a glossy lip, and I feel like I haven't got a perfect pink shade of a glossy. So I just go with clear, and then we just have the perfect lip liner shade, so it all ties in. So this is the finished makeup. I'm just gonna give it a spritz of my Morphe Luminous setting spray. And then I'm gonna go off camera, do a few clips just to insert after this. Put in some earrings, tie my hair back, and make the look come together. And I will speak to you again in the outro. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you really enjoyed. I feel like you can't go wrong with a big, bold eyeshadow. Well, I suppose you can go wrong, but yeah, I feel like I went a little bit too adventurous with an abstract makeup in my last attempt at recording a video. Maybe you'll see it one day, who knows, but not right now. Yeah, I really do like this look. I think it's simple, but also not like, you don't see people wearing this kind of makeup out anymore. This used to be the trend back in the day. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. Please tag me in any photos if you recreate this makeup. I want to see them all. Leave any comments down below, any ideas for makeup looks or videos that I could do. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment if you feel like it, and I will see you guys back here next week, same time, for another one. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.